Previously on Kung Fu Maintenance, I showed you ideas of ways to mark off a dig to tell when you've dug the holes deep enough. And then I also showed how to make the mixed gasoline for the post-hole digger. Today I'm going to be showing the extension so that you can get deeper holes with the post-hole digger. And I was able to do that, and also setting up the post-hole digger a little bit more on using the post-hole digger in rocky soil. Okay, finally got my auger extension. This extends 18 inches, extra 8. I've been digging it by hand. Now what I need to do is drill my holes first before adding the extension and get those and the dirt pulled out as much as possible, and then add the extension. It'll make life a lot easier for me. I've been doing it by hand the last extra foot because this will only dig about 2 feet, but this will give me the extra 18 inches. So nice extension deal. Try to put the link in the description, and I'll show you how to add it, but first I need to dig out a bit. Before you use this machine, you definitely want to empty things out of your pockets. It crushed a Sharpie I had in my pocket, and definitely it takes some getting used to and positioning to prevent it from catching you. So strong the kick is on that thing. Cracked the Sharpie in my pocket. I don't doubt I'll have a few bruises on that thing. Look at that. Okay, got the power mate deal. What I don't know is, did it come with oil already? I don't have to buy oil, so that's going to be kind of the first ordeal here. Got an on-off switch on the side. You have the choke. Put it to choke, cold start. Prime the bulb 6 times. Set the on-off switch to on, and pull the recoil starter until it starts. Once it starts, then set the choke lever to warm start position. If it fails to start, wait 2 minutes and repeat the steps. Alright. And it actually came with the oil to mix with the fuel. I didn't know that when I went and bought it, so that's okay. So I'll have an extra thing of fuel, no problem there. Okay. Got the gas, got the bleed. Let's get this thing going. Add the gas, put the wrenches away. Now I got the mixed gas. So digging the holes with the Posthole digger can be pretty tricky, especially in the area where it's rocky soil. It can start out going pretty good. My area, the ground is pretty hard. When I previously dug the fence holes, I had to use a long breaker bar and break up the ground and then scoop it out. And I ran into a lot of rocks. Sometimes I have to dig out a big rock, and this one, as I'm using the Posthole digger, you can definitely see it catching some of those big rocks, and then it really throws it. I started to get more used to it the more that I worked with it. The first time, like I showed you, broke the Sharpie and definitely got some pretty good bruises from it. But once you learn how to handle it a little bit better and to avoid those rocks, it's better to, once you hit those rocks, pull it out, move to the next one. Do a few of them at the same time so you're not wasting energy setting the machine down and picking it back up. And then come through with your shovel and scoop it out and scoop out the rocks as much as you can. Sometimes you have to use the breaker bar to get in there and remove a big rock or a few big rocks before going back to using the Posthole digger. You don't want to put the extension on until you've got your post holes dug about as deep as you can go without the extension, and then you can add the extension and dig down deeper. That's the safest way to do it. You don't want it sitting so high that, if it was the kickback, it would hit you in the head or anything silly like that. So better to start with a shorter regular blade first without the extension, dig your post holes, and then switch to the extension. Going to be adding on the extension today, this deal. I've dug my holes previously without the extension, because that'll save a lot of trouble and make it a bit safer. So to take off the blade, all you need to do is remove the top bolt. The bottom bolt holds the spring on, so you don't have to remove that one. Just remove the top bolt, and then you'll be able to add the extension on. The extension kit I bought was supposed to come with the hardware to put, it came with the extension and was also supposed to come with the extra bolt to attach it to the blade. Unfortunately, mine did not, so I had to get a little bit creative, but no problem there. Bolt. Okay, so here we go for the extension. Slip this on. Rotate it where it'll go through. Nice strong bolt there. So very dangerous, very crazy, but again, I need to find a way to secure that. If I have a nut that at least it'll keep it from turning. Okay, the extension's not going to be forever. I just need to make it so it won't come off on me. So I've got a glove here. Just going to wrap this, tie it just so it doesn't shoot out. Yeah, it's crazy, but I need to be reminded that it's there as well. But now it won't pull out. That's that. Alright. But I have to be careful as that's spinning around. That could do a number. So obviously I'm not getting anywhere near that, but just, it could be dangerous. Alright. Yep, so steer clear of the bolt. This one, right away, I started to hit a rock. And again, I started to get used to it. It's a bit longer, but right away I started to hit a rock and nearly got it stuck. And a day or two before, I had gotten the machine really stuck and had to dig it out from the side. And I definitely didn't want to get it stuck, especially with the extension on there. So once I got it pulled on, I moved to the next one and then again, come back to that one and dig it out with the breaker bar and a shovel. Dig out the rocks, because last thing you want is to get it stuck in there. It'll take a lot more energy to get it out. And it's just as you're using the tool, you're digging it, and then you're lifting up what it digs out, and lifting it and digging it up what it digs out. And then I found it easier to go ways and then shovel out what it broke up. So I doing 4 or 5 or 6 holes at the same time, and then pulling out the material seemed to be much easier. Sometimes I'd even left the machine running for a minute and went and pulled out the material and came back to it, and it continued. Yeah, it definitely made the job way easier, way faster with the post hole digger. I had done a backyard fence and just all by hand, and this time was kind of nice to have to use the tool to do a lot of the work. It made it much easier and much quicker. Once the holes were all dug deep enough, and you got to dig for a 6-foot post, you need 3 feet, a 3-foot hole. So basically the posts are like 9 feet, and for areas that have frost or freezing weather, you need to go deeper to get below the frost line, and you want to fill that area below the frost line with gravel so that the water can drain below the frost line. My area doesn't have much of a problem with freezing, but I did want to go deep enough to get a nice sturdy fence, and so that's what you get when you dig 3 feet holes down 3 feet to support the 6-foot post, or the 9-foot in total post. So 1/3 of the length of the post.